Welcome to Cults and Secret Societies. I'm your host, Ben Carter. Imagine, if you will, a clandestine meeting, taking place under the cloak of darkness. The location is a secluded castle nestled in the heart of Nazi Germany, 1941. Its grand halls echo with whispers of a secret society, the Black Order, an occult elite within the ranks of the Third Reich. The room is dim, lit only by the flickering flames of a vast fireplace and the eerie glow of a crimson pentagram etched into the stone floor. Around this symbol, figures cloaked in black robes stand in a perfect circle, their faces obscured by the shadows, their identities known only to each other. This is no ordinary gathering. This is a ritual, an arcane ceremony performed under a shroud of absolute secrecy. As the chanting begins, the air shivers with a chilling energy. The room is filled with the murmurs of an ancient language, long thought lost to the sands of time. Their voices rise and fall with an eerie rhythm, creating a symphony of whispered incantations that seem to seep into the very stones of the castle. It's a scene straight from a horror novel, yet it was all too real, happening right under the nose of the unsuspecting world. Among the attendees is Heinrich Himmler, the Reichsfuhrer of the SS, a man whose fascination with the occult was well known, even within the secretive circles of the Black Order. He is not just a spectator, he is an active participant, a willing devotee to the dark arts practiced by the Order. Himmler believed that the Black Order would bring about a new age of Aryan supremacy, guided by the ancient wisdom of the occult. But what were these rituals? What were they trying to achieve? And how did they influence the actions of the Nazi elite? The answers lie in a world of esoteric beliefs, hidden symbology, and a quest for mystical power that drove some of the most powerful men of the Third Reich. In the coming exploration, we'll delve deep into the secret rites of the Black Order, peeling away the layers of mystery and speculation to reveal the truth behind this enigmatic society. We'll explore their beliefs, their practices, and their influence, weaving a tale of power, paranoia, and the pursuit of the supernatural. While some might dismiss these tales as mere flights of fancy or even madness, it's important to remember that these were not tales to those who participated. For them, this was reality, a reality that guided their actions and shaped their worldviews. And it's within this reality that we'll find the chilling truth of the Black Order, a truth that continues to echo through the annals of history long after the fall of the Third Reich. The origins of the Black Order, or the Schwarze Orden, as it was known in German, trace back to the early years of the Nazi regime. The formation of this secretive society was a direct outcome of the political and spiritual climate of Germany in the 1930s. At this time, the country was caught in a whirlwind of nationalistic fervor, fueled by the rise of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party. Hitler and his closest associates, including Heinrich Himmler, were not just political opportunists. They were ardent believers in the mystical and the occult. They saw in these realms a source of power and knowledge that could be harnessed to achieve their vision of a racially pure and supremely powerful Aryan state. These men pursued their mystical interests with a fanatical zeal, following a hodgepodge of esoteric teachings, ancient Germanic and Norse mythology, Eastern philosophies, and occult practices. The Black Order was formed by Himmler around 1933, soon after Hitler's ascension to power. This secret group served as a kind of mystical brain trust, guiding the Nazi leadership in their quest for spiritual and metaphysical knowledge. The order was deeply entrenched in the SS, the paramilitary organization that served as the Nazi Party's primary instrument for enforcing its doctrine of racial purity and territorial expansion. The formation of the Black Order was not a random act, but a deliberate attempt to create a spiritual and ideological framework for the Nazi regime. Its rituals and practices were designed to instill a sense of supernatural destiny in its members and to legitimize their quest for absolute power. The secretive existence of the Black Order was necessitated by the nature of its pursuits. The occult practices and esoteric beliefs it espoused were not universally accepted, even within the Nazi Party. But more than that, the Black Order was a society of the elite, meant for those at the top echelons of the Nazi hierarchy. Its secretive nature was a means to maintain the exclusivity and mystique of the order, and to keep its practices and teachings from being diluted or corrupted by outside influences. The Black Order was not just a curiosity or a side note in the annals of the Third Reich. It played a significant role in shaping the ideology and policies of the Nazi regime. The beliefs and practices of the Black Order seeped into the very fabric of the Nazi state, influencing its actions and decisions, its treatment of minorities and perceived enemies, and its pursuit of territorial expansion and racial domination. The Black Order was spearheaded by two main figures, Reichsführer Heinrich Himmler and his right-hand man, Karl Maria Willigut, also known as Himmler's Rasputin. Himmler, the chief architect of the order, was a man deeply fascinated by the occult. He believed that the Aryan race was descended from the ancient Atlanteans, and that they had once possessed great supernatural powers which had been lost over time. Himmler was convinced that through occult practices and rituals, these lost powers could be reclaimed, catapulting the Aryan race to its rightful place as rulers of the world. Willigut, on the other hand, was an Austrian occultist who claimed to be the last of a line of ancient Germanic wise men, with secret knowledge handed down over generations. He professed to have psychic abilities and access to ancestral memory, which allowed him to recall the history and lore of the Aryan race dating back 200,000 years. Together, they worked to formulate the doctrines and rituals of the Black Order, drawing on a bewildering array of sources. These ranged from ancient Germanic and Norse mythology, Eastern philosophies, and occult practices, to the teachings of Helena Blavatsky and the Theosophical Society. The end result was a complex system of belief that was as eclectic as it was esoteric, combining elements of paganism, mysticism, and racial theory. The doctrine of the Black Order was anchored in the belief that the Aryan race had divine origins and a divine destiny. It proposed that through occult practices and knowledge, the Aryan race could regain its lost powers and achieve its destiny of racial and territorial domination. This doctrine was not just a set of beliefs, but a blueprint for action. It provided a spiritual and ideological justification for the actions of the Nazi regime, from their policies of racial purity and territorial expansion to their horrific treatment of minorities and perceived enemies. This doctrine was disseminated within the order through a variety of means. It was embedded in the rituals and ceremonies of the order, which were steeped in symbolism and mysticism. It was encoded in the symbols and insignia of the SS, which were designed by Willigut and imbued with occult significance. And it was reinforced through rigorous indoctrination and training, designed to instill in the members of the order a sense of supernatural destiny and a fervent belief in the racial and ideological doctrines of the Nazi regime. These beliefs were not just shared within the confines of the Black Order. They were also subtly propagated throughout the Nazi regime and even among the German public, through propaganda, symbolism, and public rituals. In this way, the occult beliefs and practices of the Black Order seeped into the very fabric of the Nazi state, exerting a profound influence on its ideology, policies, and actions. So, what do the conspiracies surrounding the Black Order allege? And who do they supposedly influence, control, or deceive? Let's delve into some of the most prominent theories. One of the most pervasive conspiracy theories is that the Black Order was not merely a branch of the SS, but a secret society with a far-reaching global influence. This theory posits that the Black Order was part of an international network of occult organizations, working in concert to shape world events according to their esoteric beliefs and racial ideologies. This network, so the conspiracy suggests, included not just German occult groups, but also other secretive organizations from around the world. Proponents of this theory often point to the numerous connections between the Black Order and other occult groups of the time, such as the Thule Society, the Vril Society, and the Theosophical Society. They claim that these groups were all part of a global occult conspiracy, using their hidden knowledge and secret rituals to manipulate world events and advance their shared agenda of Aryan supremacy. In the more extreme versions of this theory, the Black Order is accused of practicing dark and dangerous rituals, involving everything from human sacrifice to summoning demonic forces. These rituals, it is said, were performed not just for their own sake, but as part of a grand design to call forth supernatural powers that could be harnessed to further the goals of the Nazi regime. Another theory suggests that the Black Order had infiltrated the highest levels of the German government and military, exerting a powerful and sinister influence over the policies and actions of the Nazi state. According to this theory, the members of the Black Order were not just soldiers and officers, but also high-ranking officials, advisors, and even members of Hitler's inner circle. They supposedly used their positions of power to subtly steer the course of the Nazi regime, implementing their occult ideologies and racial doctrines under the guise of political and military strategy. Then there's the theory that the Black Order did not simply disappear with the fall of the Nazi regime, but survived in secret, continuing to exert its influence behind the scenes. Some believe that the Black Order, or its descendants, are still active today, working in the shadows to continue their occult practices and pursue their ideological goals. According to this theory, the Black Order is said to have infiltrated various institutions around the world, from governments to corporations, exerting a hidden influence over global events. These theories, as outlandish as they may seem, provide a fascinating glimpse into the shadowy world of the Black Order. They paint a picture of a secret society with a global reach, wielding occult powers and hidden knowledge to shape world events according to their esoteric beliefs and racial ideologies. Whether there is any truth to these theories is a question that continues to captivate researchers and conspiracy theorists alike. As we delve deeper into the shadowy world of the Black Order, we find ourselves confronted with a web of symbols, codes, and hidden knowledge that allegedly served as the foundation of this secret society. The use of cryptic symbols and coded language is a common feature of many secret societies, and the Black Order was no exception, if the theories are to be believed. They were said to use a complex system of emblems, hand signs, and secret languages to communicate with one another, to identify fellow members, and to maintain the secrecy of their activities. One emblem frequently associated with the Black Order is the Black Sun, a symbol that features a circle surrounded by 12 sig runes, which were used in the runic alphabet of the ancient Germanic tribes. The Black Sun was a symbol of power and supremacy, and was said to represent the mystical source of the Aryan race's strength and purity. It is also suggested that this symbol had deeper, esoteric meanings within the order, perhaps related to their occult practices or their belief in a coming age of Aryan dominance. Hand signs were another important aspect of the Black Order's secret language. One such sign was the Heil Hitler salute, an outward gesture of Nazi allegiance, but some theorists propose that within the Black Order, this salute may have had deeper occult implications, possibly serving as a coded acknowledgement of shared belief in their hidden agenda. The Black Order was also rumored to use a coded language known as runic script. The runes, an ancient alphabetic system used by Germanic tribes, were said to be employed by the order not just for mundane communication, but also in their dark rituals and ceremonies. Runes were seen as possessing magical properties, and their use was believed to invoke the ancient powers that the Black Order sought to control. These symbols and codes were not mere decorations or idle curiosities. They were tools of power, used to maintain secrecy, to bind the members of the order together, and to channel the occult forces that they believed were at their disposal. They were also a means of exerting influence, both within the order and in the wider world. A secret sign or coded message could serve as a directive from the order's leaders, guiding the actions of its members and advancing the order's objectives in subtle, unseen ways. These encrypted communications, mystical emblems, and secret hand signs paint a picture of an organization steeped in mystery and hidden knowledge. They hint at the Black Order's alleged mastery of the occult and their belief in the power of symbols to shape reality. And they provide tantalizing clues to the dark secrets that this shadowy order was said to guard. Despite the veil of secrecy surrounding the Black Order, there have been numerous attempts throughout history to expose the group and its hidden activities. Some of these efforts were carried out by individuals who had managed to infiltrate the order, or by former members seeking to expose the group's true nature. Others have come from investigative journalists, historians, and researchers who have pieced together evidence from a variety of sources in an attempt to shed light on the order's operations. One of the most notable attempts to expose the Black Order was made by a German historian named Werner von Braun. In the mid-1940s, after the fall of the Third Reich, Braun claimed to have discovered a trove of secret documents detailing the Black Order's rituals, beliefs, and plans. However, before he could publish his findings, Braun died under mysterious circumstances, and the documents were reported to have disappeared. In the ensuing decades, numerous other individuals have made similar claims, only to encounter threats, legal obstacles, or other forms of intimidation. These incidents have only fueled the speculation and intrigue surrounding the Black Order, and have led some to suggest that the group continues to wield influence and power, even in the present day. As for the Black Order's response to these attempts to expose them, it has been characterized by a combination of deflection, disinformation, and intimidation. The group has often sought to dismiss allegations as fabrications, or the products of overactive imaginations. They have spread counter-narratives, suggesting that those seeking to expose them are themselves part of a conspiracy to discredit the order. And when these tactics have failed, they have not hesitated to resort to threats or even violence to protect their secrets. The Black Order's tactics of denial and deflection have proven remarkably effective. They have managed to maintain an aura of mystery and invincibility, and have successfully thwarted most attempts to penetrate their veil of secrecy. Even today, the true nature of the Black Order remains largely unknown, and their secrets continue to elude those who seek to expose them. However, the persistent efforts of researchers and truth-seekers have not been in vain. They have uncovered tantalizing fragments of information and have kept the memory of the Black Order alive. While the full truth about the Order remains elusive, the quest to uncover it continues, fueled by a determination to expose the dark secrets of this enigmatic organization. Peeling back the layers of mystery surrounding the Black Order, we now delve into the core of their esoteric and spiritual beliefs. It is important to understand that these beliefs were not merely a backdrop to their political and military ambitions, but a driving force that shaped their worldview and actions. Let us begin with their concept of the cosmos. The Black Order, like many occult groups, believed in a multi-layered universe, consisting of both the physical realm that we can perceive with our senses, and a higher metaphysical realm that remains hidden from ordinary perception. They believed that through certain secret rituals and practices, they could tap into this higher realm to harness its power and knowledge. Central to their belief was the notion of a divine authority, a supreme cosmic force that governed the universe. This force was not a benevolent deity to be worshipped, but a primal, impersonal power to be tapped and controlled. This belief was expressed in their motto, "Will over fate," which reflected their conviction that human will, when properly directed, could shape destiny and bend the universe to its commands. This leads us to their view of humanity. The Black Order did not see all humans as equal. They believed in a hierarchy, not just of races and nations, but of spiritual development. They saw themselves as the vanguard of a new, spiritually enlightened elite who were destined to rule over the masses. They considered most people to be spiritually blind, trapped in ignorance and materialism, unable to perceive or comprehend the higher truths that the order possessed. This elitist philosophy was not just a justification for their political ambitions, but a mandate for action. They believed that it was their duty to guide humanity towards a new era of spiritual awakening and cosmic harmony. This was to be achieved not through persuasion or enlightenment, but through force and control. They saw themselves as the architects of a new world order, a utopia governed by the enlightened elite who would usher in a new age of spiritual and racial purity. However, it must be remembered that these beliefs, however lofty they might appear, were used to justify some of the most horrific atrocities of the 20th century. They served as a mask for a ruthless quest for power, a cover for inhuman cruelty and sadistic rituals disguised as sacred ceremonies. Understanding the Black Order's spiritual beliefs not only sheds light on their motivations and actions, but also underscores the dangers of unchecked power and the manipulation of spiritual and metaphysical concepts for nefarious ends. It serves as a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of the dark side of occultism and the potential for spiritual beliefs to be twisted into tools of oppression and control. The influence of the Black Order didn't end with the collapse of the Third Reich. In fact, its tendrils can still be felt in various areas of modern culture and power structures. Some argue that this is due to the survival of the Black Order's ideas and networks, which have subtly permeated aspects of media, politics, religion, education, and finance. In the domain of media, some theorists suggest that the Black Order's ethos of control and manipulation can be seen in the proliferation of disinformation and propaganda. They point to the rise of conspiracy theories and alternative facts as a manifestation of the Order's belief in manipulating reality to fit their narrative. Some even claim that the Black Order's spiritual symbolism has made its way into popular culture, appearing in movies, music, and even video games. In the political realm, the Black Order's impact is arguably more tangible. Some point to the rise of far-right movements and the resurgence of extremist ideologies as evidence of the Order's enduring influence. They suggest that the elitist philosophy and racial purity doctrine of the Black Order can be seen in the rhetoric of these movements. For instance, the concept of a new world order dominated by a powerful elite is a common thread in many conspiracy theories. Religion and education have not been immune to the influence of the Black Order either. Some argue that the Order's esoteric beliefs and occult practices have found their way into New Age spirituality, which often incorporates elements of ancient mythologies, occult practices, and belief in hidden powers. Additionally, some theorists suggest that the Black Order's disdain for traditional education and their emphasis on hidden knowledge can be seen in the rise of alternative education movements and the distrust of established knowledge institutions. Finally, in the realm of finance, there are those who believe that the Black Order's networks survived the war and continue to wield influence. They propose that secret societies like the Freemasons, the Illuminati, and others are not just the stuff of conspiracy theories, but are the modern incarnations of the Black Order, controlling the world's wealth and power from behind the scenes. While these theories are speculative and lack concrete evidence, they highlight a significant point. The Black Order's ideas and methods were not unique to them. They tapped into deeper currents of human nature, exploiting our fears, our desires for power, and our yearning for secret knowledge. In doing so, they left a legacy that continues to reverberate in our world today. Whether the Black Order's influence is a direct lineage or a general pattern, it serves as a potent reminder of the seductive power of hidden knowledge and the dangers it can pose when harnessed by those with malevolent intent. Yet among the most extreme theories surrounding the Black Order, some tread into the realm of the truly outlandish, even otherworldly. The most radical of these propose that the Nazi occult elite's practices were not merely rooted in ancient mythologies, but were instead influenced by extraterrestrial entities. They suggest that the Black Order's obsession with ancient symbols, mystical artifacts, and esoteric knowledge was driven by their contact with beings from another world. Some conspiracy theorists draw parallels between the Black Order's rituals and reported alien encounters. The use of trance states, the belief in superior beings, the practice of channeling information from other realms, all of these elements, they suggest, are common to both alien abduction accounts and the occult practices of the Black Order. This theory posits that the Black Order was not merely trying to tap into mythical powers, but were actually attempting to communicate, or even collaborate, with extraterrestrial beings. To support these claims, theorists point to the Order's unyielding interest in advanced technology, their expeditions to remote parts of the globe in search of ancient artifacts, and their obsession with the stars and astrological predictions. Some argue that these activities were not just the eccentricities of a mystical sect, but were part of a broader strategy to harness alien technology and knowledge. Then there is the theory of mind control and mass manipulation. Some speculate that the Black Order's rituals were designed to induce a state of suggestibility, making individuals more susceptible to the Order's ideology. They argue that the Order's use of symbols, rituals, and esoteric knowledge was not merely to convey a sense of mystery and power, but to manipulate the psychological state of their followers, and even the wider population. These theories propose that the Black Order's practices were not just about personal empowerment or spiritual enlightenment, but about control over individuals, over communities, and perhaps even over nations. They suggest that the Order was not just a group of mystical seekers, but a network of skilled manipulators, using occult practices as tools of psychological warfare. It's worth noting that these are among the most controversial theories about the Black Order, and they are often met with skepticism. However, they underline the extent to which the Black Order's activities have become enmeshed in our collective imagination, and the lengths to which some will go to make sense of their mysterious practices. And while these theories may seem far-fetched, they serve to highlight the enduring fascination with the Black Order, their secrets, and their potential influence on our world. As we cast our gaze over the shadowy landscape of the Black Order's occult practices, it becomes clear that while we have pieced together fragments of their mysterious world, there remain depths yet to be plumbed. The veil of secrecy that shrouds the Black Order leaves us with more questions than answers, and it's these unanswered questions that continue to tantalize and provoke us. The exact nature of their rituals, for instance, remains elusive. Despite numerous accounts of bizarre ceremonies, the specific rituals performed, their significance, and their purported effects are still largely conjectural. We have fragments of their esoteric symbolism, whispers of their arcane rites, but the full picture eludes us. What were they trying to achieve? Were they successful in their endeavors, or were their rituals purely symbolic? Then, There are the lingering questions about the Order's alleged connections with extraterrestrial beings. Could there be any truth to the theory that the Black Order was attempting to harness alien technology and knowledge? The idea is certainly seductive, but without concrete evidence, it remains within the realm of speculation. We are also left with questions about the extent of the Black Order's influence. If the theory of mind control holds any truth, then just how far did their psychological manipulation reach? Did their influence extend beyond the Order's immediate circles, infecting the wider population and even influencing the course of nations? Perhaps the most tantalizing question of all, however, is whether the Black Order still exists today. Could their descendants or devotees be continuing their rituals and practices in secret? If so, what might their objectives be in our modern world? The evidence we have raises suspicion, but also invites skepticism. We are left picking through rumors and half-truths, trying to discern what may be fact from what is likely fiction. With so many secrets shrouded in mystery, it's possible that we may never fully uncover the truth about the Black Order. What we can be certain of, however, is that the Black Order and their occult practices continue to captivate our collective imagination. Their allure lies in their enigma, in the tantalizing possibility of hidden knowledge and forbidden power. They serve as a reminder of our enduring fascination with the unknown, the clandestine, and the mystical. As we draw this exploration to a close, we are left pondering these unanswered questions, these tantalizing mysteries. The Black Order continues to cast a long shadow, and its secrets beckon us from the depths of history, inviting us to keep questioning, to keep seeking, to keep wondering. And so, as we delve into the darkness, we must remember, in the realm of the occult, nothing is ever as it seems. Thanks for listening. This has been Cults and Secret Societies. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to support the show, subscribe to the Forbidden Knowledge Network on Patreon. Subscribe now.